What's up, Metal Brethren? It's Scott Tannic1 coming at you again live from the dungeon with part 2 of the Dethklok Discography review. Now, before I really get into the tracks on Dethaldbum part 2 here, I really want to kind of talk about the production and the raising of the bar that come with this album. Like I said, the production is a little bit more better on this record. The songs, I think, are more masterfully crafted on this album than Dethaldbum part 1. A lot of the songs on here didn't really appear in the show. Some of them did. Quite a few of them did, but not all of them. And, some of them that I was looking for after I bought the album, I was looking for them when I went back into the show and watched more of the episodes. I was like, why wasn't this in there, Maybe the riff was in there. I don't remember exactly. I mean, I've watched every episode and the rock opera of this show. And some of these tracks I did not see in the show. Excuse me. So before I really get into the tracks, again, I want to say that this album definitely dwarfs what was going on Dethaldbum Part 1. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the tracks now. Bloodlines, the one that kicks off this record, I think is a great album. It's a great track, not an album. The album's great, but that track is really good. The Gears is another one that's in the show, and it's really just a really cool track. I really like it a lot. Burn the Earth, Laser Cannon, Death Sentence, Black Fire Upon Us, the Cyborg Slayers. Now, I was talking about songs that didn't appear in the show, and I did not hear this song in the show. But in honesty, it's one of the standout tracks on this record. I Tamper with the Murder. Sorry. This one's really long and it's really funny. So every time I say it, I kind of chuckle a little bit. I tamper with the evidence at the murder site of Odin. That one I didn't even hear in the show either. It may be there. I don't know, but check it out. It's awesome. Mermaider 2, the Water God. I know for a fact that one wasn't in the show, but it's also good. The Comet Song, really good one. Volcano is another good one. This album, honestly, doesn't really have a bad track on it. It really just continues what Brandon Small was doing with Dethklok, but yet took it just a little bit higher. Interesting side note, a lot of people think that Nathan Explosion, aka Brandon Small, who also does the voice for that character, is actually George Fisher, aka Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, and that's not true. Corpse Grinder does do some voices in the show, but he's not Nathan Explosion. Interestingly enough, though, Brandon Small did base the character on George. I mean, if you look at the character Nathan Explosion, and if you're a Corpse fan, you will instantly see, Corpse Grinder. Great vocalist. If you don't know who he is, again, crawl out from underneath that rock that you're living in. Check out the Cannibal Corpse stuff with Corpse Grinder. Anyway, back to the nature at hand. I'm going to go ahead and rate Dethaldbum Part 2, and honestly, this one gets a 5 out of 5, being the fact that the production's better, the songs are better, and honestly, the lyrical content is much better on this one. But, you may disagree. You may think Dethaldbum 1's better. You may not even heard any of these records. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And you know what? Be seeing you here very shortly with Dethaldbum Part 3 review. So stay tuned, Metal Brethren. Later on.